You guys can hear me?
We can hear you.
But Greg is yelling through this glass. So if you need to find him, he's right outside of this window looking like an idiot.
I think we're going to get him back into the main room where we just had Mr. Hendricks. So we'll track him down. It looks like he's settling in there. So, all right. Well, we'll start off with questions for Alex. Please raise your hand by going to the reactions tab. We'll start off with Bob Cockris.
Yeah, Alex, this was a track position game. How confident were you after you got the lead on that pit stop?
I think straight up the 5 was a little bit better than us, but I knew that track position was key, and clean air was tough today. Tougher than previous races here, I feel like, a little bit. So I just felt like if I could keep the bottom closed off, it'd be pretty hard for him to get to me. And if he did get to me, he'd have to wear his stuff out pretty bad. So yeah, I mean, my pit crew, I feel like, won the race, getting us off pit road first there. But man, just really cool to get to race Kyle and have such a great day for Hendrick Motorsports.
And Mr. H said that it's pretty much a formality for you to sign an extension for multiple years. Do you feel any more comfortable in your future now than your typical, I never know really what's going to happen with me?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Just being at Hendrick Motorsports is obviously where I want to be, and I want to continue to work with Ally and drive the 48 car. So like he said, we've been working on it, and I think, I want to be there. They want me to drive their race car. So it's cool to have a guy like Rick Hendricks say he wants you to continue driving his race car. It means a lot to me, and really special place to be, and appreciative for the opportunity.
All right, and to let everyone know, we're also joined by Crew Chief Greg Ives. So we'll open up to questions for both Alex and Greg. Bob, I wasn't sure if you had one for Greg before we let you go.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Then we
will nobody wants to ask Greg questions anyway.
Next, we'll go to Mark Garrow.
Thank you. Alex, how does it feel? You had a runaway train with these first 4 guys with finishing in the top 4, but you were the locomotive, not the caboose on this deal. So how did it feel to be the locomotive pulling that train to a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I feel like we've been off for a couple weeks, but we're still the same race team that won in Richmond, and we've been probably a little down on ourselves. So just try to get the guys back motivated after a rough week last week in Darlington. And, our pit stops were incredible today, but to run 1, 2, 3, 4 for HMS, so cool. I don't know when the last time that happened was, but it's been a long time, and really, really cool to see it.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to go to Matt Pensick.
Hey, Alex, getting back to the pit stops that you and the pit crew, what was the reaction when you did this burnout in front of them? Was that for them because of what they were able to do for the team today? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I think, if we don't beat the 5 off pit road, we probably don't beat them in the race. So, I give them all the credit for the win there. I think without them, we wouldn't have gotten it done. So appreciate Greg and all those guys working so hard throughout the week to continue to get better. And they've been super fast all year. So it's cool to win a race that you can really point back to them and say there who got it done. And was cool to be able to do that. I feel like other guys do that all the time. Their pit crews come to the wall, and I go to do burnouts, and I can't even see any of my guys. So I yelled at them. I'm like, you guys got to come to the wall. So was really cool to get to do that.
All right. Thanks, Alex. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Next, we're going to go to Dan Gelston.
Hey, Alex, what's the significance to you of both putting, obviously for yourself into victory lane, but just also the 48 and to getting Rick closer to the record for most wins by one team?
Yeah, I just want to be the guy that ties them and beats them, right? Like all 4 of us want to be that guy. So it's cool to put us one closer. But yeah, I mean, I want to be the guy that gets those wins for Mr. H, because I feel like they're going to be, not that any wins not special, they're all really special. especially when you only have 4 of them. But I feel like I really want to be the guy that gets that done for him.
Did it take him long to get that fire out?
I don't know. I stopped paying attention. It's a long way from when I was on fire in New Hampshire, that's for sure.
All right, next we're going to go to Dustin Long.
Thank you. I've got a question for Alex and one for Greg. For Alex, certainly Greg has talked about in the past about pit road. I know you've talked about what the pit crew did today, but certainly there's a lot of things that take place with getting on pit road, getting off pit road. I guess kind of that attention to detail and just kind of how maybe Greg's helped or what you've kind of done to even be better on pit road so far.
Yeah, Greg yells at me whenever I don't maximize my lights and my segments and my rolling times and average speed charts. At Hendrick Motorsports, we really like charts. So in our meetings, we talk about charts, and there's a lot of charts, and sometimes I look bad on those charts, and that's when Greg yells at me. But there's a lot of different pit road charts and ways to look at it. And he's just trying to do whatever he can to help me maximize each and every area. So I feel like I'm gaining on it. You know, there are definitely guys that do a little bit better of a job than me right now still, but that 48 pit crew makes up for it a little bit because they are super fast each and every week.
And Greg, you talked a couple of weeks ago about the pit crew and just kind of your philosophy, and you talked more about consistency as opposed to, make or break all the time. Can you kind of a little bit more detail about how you came to that philosophy, but also how does that philosophy work in a situation where it's kind of a winner take all pit stop, like on that last stop, and you guys, I think, had the fastest stop of the year?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's all about, Alex said the details of it, but also letting the guys kind of play in their own realm, in their own space, and they want to play at a high level. So it's all about creating comfort in that high level stress environment. The last couple of weeks, I've been putting them in a lot of changes, high stress environment, trying to get them to, go fast when they have to make a lot of adjustments. And I think it's kind of like a batter swinging a heavier bat. I created some uncomfortable situations. You weren't looking really good as far as times on pit road. But ultimately, I feel like for the adjustment stops, we were doing a good job of making up time and figuring out where we had some deficit. And it's all about going down and talking. I talked to him this week. I go down the film and I broke down how well or how bad I was doing. I roll in that left front tire, and I wasn't doing it right last weekend, and opened it up, and we all worked through it. They're not scared to tell the crew chief that I need to get better in the situation. So I think ultimately being on the same platform as them, allowing them to make some mistakes. When mistakes come, learning from them rather than scolding them. So I really appreciate what they do. Appreciate the family that we've become. We've been together for 5-6 years now. So it's it's easy to work through complications when you have that open communication.
All right, next we're going to go to Martin Frank with the Delaware News Journal.
Hey, Alex. Obviously, you won in the number 48 car. I was just wondering, obviously Jimmy Johnson has dominated here for years, what that means to you.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. I was terrible here when I would come here for other teams. I got a little better when I started driving for Junior Motorsports and had some okay runs here and there. And my first or second time here for Hendrick Motorsports, I was struggling in practice. And I texted Jimmy and bugged him all night before the race and just tried to ask him what he does and how he approaches this place and what kind of line he runs. And I just stuck to that and really try to run like Jimmy did and run the Jimmy Johnson line and just be tight against the black and super disciplined and super patient, and kind of do some of the same things that he does with the throttle. And, then next year we came here, we were in second and third. And then last year we had a solid top 5, and we've kind of been good here ever since. So to win here with a 48 car is special, but to do it using, I guess, tips that Jimmy taught me is pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next, we're going to go to Andrew Curlin for a question for Greg.
Yeah, Greg, Alex has described his relationship with you, and it seems like you guys have similar personalities, but how would you describe your relationship with Alex, especially this year with 2 victories?
Oh, this question always is fun for Alex to pick on me a little bit, but yeah, I mean, we have a great relationship, and that's all because we love race cars, we love cars, we love racing and getting better. So the number one thing when it comes to a driver and my philosophy is the ability to learn. I want that, there's things that go on in my head, and sometimes it's hard for me to talk about them or tell Alex, and that's why he calls me the Riddler. But ultimately, I get to the point where I just tell him what I want, and he does it. And today we're working through some brake pressure stuff and talk to him through it. And he didn't get upset about it. I wasn't trying to make him upset. I was just trying to make him aware. So ultimately, you have to have that relationship of trust, and he understands and knows what I'm looking at, and he has the ability to respond the proper way in the car. And when we get out, there's no hard feelings, and we just go on our way and have fun again the next week, trying to overcome either a bad race or a race win. And he talked about Darlington, and we were up in the lounge and we're trying to figure out how, right after a race, you definitely don't want to you don't want to talk, but we were able to. And I told him, hey, pump the guys up, get involved and pump them up, and he did. And I was in a situation where I was upset and frustrated with the car's performance, and you needed him to do what he needed to do. So he did a good job overcoming the last few weeks, and ultimately that's because we have a relationship not only with him and I, but throughout the whole race team.
Thanks, Greg.
Yep.
We're going to take one more for Greg before we have to let him go on to his other obligations. We will go to Davey Siegel. Oh, sorry, Jacob Steelman. Sorry, David. Go ahead, Jacob.
Thanks, Steph. Greg, Alex referenced it a little bit in his interview with Fox, but I know the dynamic of the team has been a little bit different in the wake of Rowdy's passing. What has Alan brought to the team, though, from your standpoint, or how has he kind of changed or uplifted the dynamic in the wake of everything that you guys went through during the off season?
One of the biggest when you're going through that, one of the biggest things you have to do is find a connection, not only with the team, but you have to find that connection with the person that Rowdy was. And Alan and Rowdy had a friendship and a relationship prior. He was somebody that understood Rowdy and his attitude towards everyday working. He understood Rowdy's personality from a team aspect and how valuable he was to us and keeping us motivated every day and every week. So that's where I found comfort with the guys around us. The pit crew had a big say in how they replaced one of their fallen guys, and how was he going to mesh with the team? And I rather took meshing with the team over talent, but, Alan and Rowdy came in really close together. They stayed friends. They had a similar work ethic, and ultimately, it felt like the right choice for him to step into a position that was very difficult to endure and go through, and he helped us find a little bit of peace in it all. So very difficult, but ultimately that's kind of how it all worked out.
Thanks, Greg. Congratulations on the great day.
Thank you.
All right, Greg, we're going to let you continue on with your obligations. Thanks for joining us, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate everybody.
And we're going to resume with questions for our race winner, Alex. We will go back to Andrew for a question for Alex.
Yeah, Alex, I know you mentioned like your crew guys were able to hop up on the wall, kind of a staple celebration for Dover. But, you know, with everything opening up starting this weekend, were you able to celebrate with them a little bit more than the Richmond victory?
Yeah, for sure. They were all in victory lane, which was really cool. Means the world to get to share that with them when I think so much of it was influenced by them. So really, really cool. Just appreciative to get to do that with them, and really neat.
All right, now we're going to go back to Jacob with a question for Alex.
Thanks, Steph. Alex, first, congratulations. Wanted to get your take, if you've had a chance to work with the pit crew some this year, on what Alan's brought to the team. You referenced him in your victory lane interview, and obviously the stop was brilliant at the end. I think the fastest of anybody this season to get you out front.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Rowdy had a really big outgoing personality in a sea of awkwardness that is the 48 team. And I think Alan brings a really similar personality and outgoingness, and he's just a big personality and a lot of fun to be around, a lot of fun to talk to. Can talk to anybody, always having a good time, always upbeat and positive. And Rowdy was that guy. You have a lot of really awkward people on the 48 team between Greg and I, and some of the other pit crew guys, and some of the team itself. Like, we're kind of a bunch of weirdos, but it gets the job done, and I feel like Alan, brings it all together a little bit.
And to follow up on a comment from earlier from Mr. H, obviously all four teams are running at a really high level right now. Can you circle anything specific that maybe has changed or improved within the Hendrick shop that has got all four of you hitting on 8 cylinders at the right time? Is this communication? I mean, what is it?
I don't think there's one thing you can pinpoint. I think it's everybody in the whole shop working super well together. All four race teams working well together. Marshall Carlson doing a really good job kind of getting everybody together. Chad Knaus doing a really good job of kind of taking lead in the shop. But, from the top down, Jeff Andrews has a big part in everything. The four crew chiefs all the way to guys that sweep the floor at night. It's a team effort. Everybody's all in, and it's a good atmosphere right now. All the cars are fast. The 48 team, we've had our struggles and our races that have gotten away from us, but everybody's been really fast, and that's just brought a great atmosphere and continuing to go well.
Next, we're going to go to Alan Cavana.
Hey, Alex, congratulations. I apologize. I'm already looking forward to the Coke 600, though. But
No worries.
but I'm thinking with that extra 100 miles, your fast pit crew, and the speed that the Hendrick cars have at 550 tracks, I mean, you're going to be one of the favorites going into that race. How do you feel about being now in that tier of drivers who are thought about as, Alex Bowman could go in and win this race? We think that's absolutely possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think we probably could have won both races there last year. We won a bunch of stages, and the green white checker didn't really go our way the first one, and then I crashed all by myself when we should have won the second one. So Charlotte's probably my favorite oval we go to as far as the 1.5 mile stuff. It's got a lot of character. Some guys don't like it, but I think it's because they haven't figured it out. Once you kind of figure out turns 3 and 4, it's a lot of fun, and you can kind of manipulate your race car to do what you want it to do. And I enjoy it. You can move around a lot of different grooves. It gets slick. It's a long, grueling, fun race. So looking forward to 600 miles and being as prepared as I can be for it.
Is there really anything to that extra 100 miles anymore for a driver?
I think this race feels longer than that race does. Next week will probably be more physically challenging than the 600 is. Charlotte's not a place that really beats you up too bad. This place is really hard on you, and a road course in Texas in the middle of May is going to be pretty rough as well. So just, I think all these races kind of strung together that are difficult physical days for us, probably prepare us a little bit extra for the next weeks.
Thank you. Have fun.
Thanks.
Next, we're going to go to Devin Henry.
Thanks, Steph. Alex, congrats on the win, man. Looking back, I know that the short tracks, the mile and unders haven't been your best friend, but now you have 2 this year. Throughout 2021, what have you learned about Greg and what have you learned about this team that might be new to you?
I don't really think there's been a new thing for us. I think we've definitely improved our short track program a ton. Richmond was a place that we'd struggled at tremendously, but Dover was one of our best racetracks and has been for a long time. So I don't know if we're really learning new things, but we're definitely gelling really well. Probably doing a little better job of overcoming the rough weeks in between Richmond and here than I would have previously. Just trying to be a little better leader and be a little more upbeat. Bristol, Martinsville, Kansas, Darlington, 2019 or 2020, I probably would have been pretty mad all week and pretty miserable to be around and just kind of angry about it. And just trying to stay really positive and be a good leader for these guys and do what I can to keep them pumped up, because I know, we go to a lot of good places for us. Our weaknesses are shrinking. We're getting better at the places that we struggle at. And I feel like we can go about anywhere and win right now.
Thanks, Alex. Enjoy tonight.
Thanks.
Next, we're going to go to Daryl Kinsey.
Alex, we heard a couple of your teammates had issues with the brakes during the race. Did you have any issues with yours? Was it just an issue too much tape on the ducts or some of the track temp or anything like that?
I haven't really talked to my teammates to know what they were fighting with. We had massive brake issues. Had no brakes. So a long 400 laps pumping the brake pedal up, hoping they're going to work in the next corner. But they worked when it counted. But we'll have to address what was wrong there, what we missed. Never had brake issues before here. So obviously we had really fast race cars to be able to overcome it, but definitely struggled with that a little more than we would have
And
expected.
looking forward to next week, you guys going to the Circuit of the Americas. You spoke a little bit about it earlier. How tough is it going to be to get us set up for that place, the limited amount of practice time you guys will have during the weekend?
Yeah, I don't even know how much practice we do or don't have, but it's the same for everybody. So we just got to go there and try to hit it off the bat. Chase has been there, so that's a big help. It'll be, crucial to learn from him, and it's crucial to learn from him anytime we go to a road course. He's so good at them. So just trying to improve. I feel like our weak point there is going to be me as a race car driver, but I feel like if I do my job and do a good job for the team, we'll have a good solid day.
And thank you. Congratulations on the win today.
Thanks.
Next, we're going to go to Jeff Magliochetti.
Thank you, Steph. Alex, congratulations. Thank you for joining us today. This time last year, the number 48 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet was one of the most talked about rides on the circuit in terms of who was going to fill that seat in 2021. How does it feel to vindicate the faith that Mr. H had in you when he named you the successor to Jimmy Johnson?
Yeah, it's really cool. To come to a place like Dover that the 48s had so much success at and get a win here. We've never won here with Mr. Hendrick here, so it's so cool to be able to do that. Just really neat, I feel like throughout my career, I've had my fair share of doubters. So to be able to get 2 wins here to start off the season and, be having a good start to the year is really cool.
And Mr. H said in his statements that, he took you aside before the season started. He told you, quote, "You can't be Jimmy Johnson light. We want you to be Alex Bowman." In your opinion, in your words, who is Alex Bowman, multiple-time race winner this year? Who is Alex Bowman?
A race car driver / weirdo, awkward human. I don't know. I feel like I'm just a regular guy. Like I obviously really enjoy what I get to do. Put a lot of time and hard work into trying to be the best race car driver I can be. But, I don't have any like extravagant hobby, or I don't have this like super big personality. I'm not like a villain like you see some of the other guys. And like, I guess I don't have that. I just kind of am myself. I like to spend time at home with my dogs. I have a small group of friends, spend a ton of time at my shop working on the sprint car stuff. I'm there every day that I'm not at Hendrick Motorsports, or I'm in the simulator, I'm in my shop, laying underneath a race car working on it. So yeah, that's all there is to it for my life.
Well, whatever it is, it's working for you. Congratulations and keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Next, we're going to go to Justin Palmer.
Hey, Alex, congrats on the victory today. We're heading up on COTA and the Coca-Cola 600, where NASCAR will hold both practice and qualifying sessions for those weekends. Have you missed the extra time at the racetrack? And are you and the drivers ready for the potential to add more sessions onto the schedule now that restrictions are starting to get lifted across the country?
I really enjoy the lack of practice. I feel like growing up, you'd show up, you get one hot lap session, you qualify, heat race, and race. Your whole day was from like 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and you were done. So I enjoy kind of the compact schedule, but I'm also looking forward to being able to work with my race team and try to maximize our race car for Sunday's race, something we haven't done in quite a while. So it's going to be cool to be able to do it. But I'm not going to lie, I definitely like the schedule we have now for sure.
Thank you, Alex, and congrats on today's victory.
Thank you.
All right, Alex. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. Congratulations on the win, and we will see you next week for that practice and qualifying.
Yeah, thank you.